welcome to Life Happens podcast. My name is Rabia. And guys, I am so excited today because I have an amazing topic and I have two amazing guest hosts, okay? You guys may know them, I don't know, but they'll come in shortly and introduce themselves. But before I introduce my guests, I just want to say that remind you guys what Life Happens is about. It's about a podcast where I combine my spirituality with practical things and we create a beautiful balance. Because after all, isn't life about balance, right? Some of us sometimes can be over the top, and I'm some of us. And so I'm just in the space in my life where balance is so important. So that's why we have Life Happens. So today our topic is about relationship red flags. But before I get into it, I'm going to introduce you to my first guest host. Hey guys.
Hello.
I am so excited you agreed to come with me. Listen, we go back, right?
Way back.
Back since Moses was a little boy back. Right? But no, I just want to say thank you, Tate, for coming on with me and just being here and being so supportive. I appreciate that.
No problem at all.
Who you are, what you do, and where you from?
Oh my God, I'm from Chicago. My name is Tate, known as MrTMI Tate, and starting to become known as Mr. Tuesday Night Tate. So, in saying that, I'm from Chicago, and I moved here approximately, and here is Dallas, Texas, approximately 21 years ago. And haven't looked back since. I've met some beautiful people, including yourself, Rabia. And hey, it's just been a blessing since I've been here.
No, I'm so glad to have you. And let me tell you, Tate is hilarious. Okay, you will find out tonight. But please behave, please, brother, please behave.
I'm in my box, man. I'm staying humble.
Oh gosh! And now I'm going to introduce you to my next host. Well, just wait and you'll see. She is gorgeous, by the way, guys. Like freaking gorgeous. Actually, we twins, but don't tell anyone. Hey, girl.
Hi, Rabia. Hey, Tate.
Hey.
How are you? Tell the audience who you are, what you do, where you're from, etc.
My name is Tweety. I don't give away my government name, but I am from New Orleans. I've been in Dallas, Texas for, I think it's been 16 years since Hurricane Katrina. I've met so many people that have become family since then, because our family was separated.
Right.
But mostly the people that I've met have come to stay as family or friends or family, we call it.
Right.
So currently here to stay in Texas and continue to do my broadcasting for two different twins with my twin sister. So that's what we'll be doing.
Okay, awesome. Guys, today we are talking about an amazing topic. Well, I say amazing to me because in this part of my life, I'm learning so much about people, about relationships. Who am I in relationships? Where I flow, how I flow, what I accept, what I will not accept, right? Because there's things that we will not accept, not just as women, but as people, period, right?
Yeah.
So I want to read something, and I just want you guys' opinions before we segue into the topic, okay? If I'm talking too fast, you're going to let me know because I got an accent, okay?
I love it. I love it.
And I'm used to it, but these two accents together, I don't know what's going to happen to me.
I think we may sound alike, though. I don't know.
I love your accent.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to read this. This is from an anonymous person. I was actually part of a podcast called Dear Brothers and Dear Sisters, and they talk about relationships. And this was something that was anonymously, I guess, posted on their board. And I thought this was interesting. So this guy sends in this message and he says, this woman, sorry. She says, my heart hurts. My husband of 7 years had a 2-month, mostly emotional affair with a woman 4 years younger than me. They worked together and it started out friendly, then progressed to texts and calls. Then when I started asking questions, they started emailing each other. They kissed 3 times and hung out after work 2 times. No sex. This is the second married man at this job this woman had had an affair with. I feel like my marriage is ruined and I'm struggling to even survive. I'm so hurt. We have 3 under 3 and I feel so bad for my children because since finding this out, I feel like my world is upside down. We've talked about it, but my husband doesn't go into detail or tell the whole truth. It's like I have to drag it out of him. He says it's because he doesn't want to hurt my feelings anymore. But I hate the half truth and I consider that lying. Omission is a lie. I, of course, called this other woman's husband and he's completely heartbroken. But I felt he deserved to know. 2 men and 2 affairs. How can one woman cause so much damage? And then he asked, how do I begin to even try to heal? My relationship, our marriage feels done. I feel like I feel I've fallen completely out of love. I will take any advice at this point, books, ideas, prayers, anything. Now, this is a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on here. So I want to start with you, Tate. What do you think that she should do?
Dang, I was hoping you didn't start with me. I thought you was gonna do the whole ladies first thing. Something stood out with me when she said they kissed 2 times or 3 times and hung out a few times and all this other stuff. And I'm like, who's counting the kisses? Like, does it matter? So I hate to say this, but the way that this is structured, she's already forgiven him, and I don't think he's gonna learn from this example. You're already, when you say, you know, I'm looking the way to repair my marriage and all this other stuff, but he won't open up about it. Right there, you're already accepting all of this mess. And in my opinion, I think he's gonna give it to you again and expect the same reaction from you.
Yeah, I get that. And it sounds like she's struggling though. Because to me, the 3 under 3, that's a lot of kids under 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's thinking about bills. She's thinking about daycare. She's thinking about how she can be at home with the kids all by herself. There's a lot of things.
I feel you on that. And I'm sorry to interrupt. I feel you on that. But in my opinion, and I don't know exactly what the scenario is, but it don't sound like he there for the kids in the first place. He too busy hanging out and you know, doing what he do. Right. Also, we have to start thinking long term and not short term. We have to think, do you want your kids to be raised under the roof of a relationship as such? Or is it best to move on before they be influenced by this stuff so that you can possibly get in a healthier situation in order to raise your children?
But see, she can't think that way. You know why? Because she's focusing on what number of times he did what he did. What you should do is focus on her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, if he tells you, well, I only kissed her 3 times, you lying. You lying.
Yeah.
Who counted? Who said left 1, left 2? Who counted?
You lying. And then you said for sex. What's stopping you from having sex?
Right.
You already went out and you're kissing her.
Right.
I mean, you sound like he's trying to preserve it, but he still wants to do what he wants to do. You know, what do you think, sweetie?
Well, from a woman's perspective, I can understand how she's totally feeling like she feels like, well, one, she has a lot of things to consider. First, it's the stability of her kids, stability of her income that may be a one household income that it will fall down to. Secondly, as all those years that she's been with this man, that she's growing accustomed to this man, and it's not as easy. It's easier said than done to say, okay, focus on yourself and think about yourself. But at the same time, you're going to constantly think about the years that you put in with this man. And then thirdly, I can understand when she says she's fallen out of love, because first of all, it cannot be the first time that he's ever cheated, or he has ever stepped out. This is the only time that he was caught. So my thing is,
that's not his first kiss.
It wasn't his first kiss. But the thing is, I know her thought process is like, you don't even value this family to even gamble with an outsider who has had an affair on her husband with another person at the same job that you currently work in. So it just lets me know, what is your value to yourself? You know, that would have you thinking like, you don't even value yourself or either value your family. So that's pretty sure that those thoughts of her being in that situation, all of that is rushing through her head. And, you know, because from the outside looking in, says, stop focusing on yourself. But it's hard to focus on yourself when you have 3 kids and a husband that you have to deal with that has a whole bunch of unhealed things on the inside of him, to where
Yeah.
it's causing him to reach out to somebody who's way beneath your wife, you know. But I mean, to each his own. And I think, that's something that it will require a whole bunch of prayer and listening to God on, you know.
Yeah, and you're right. She sounds like she's young, so I don't think she can focus on herself. And you're absolutely right. I think
Mhm.
as you get older, as women
Mhm.
get older, then things change. Because if that happened to me and I was younger, I'd tear the whole house up. You know what I'm saying? I'd tear the entire house up.
Mhm.
I'm just being honest. You not
Yeah.
sleeping, sir. You will sleep with one eye open. I'm tearing
Yeah.
it up. Okay, I'm just being honest. But where I am
Mhm.
today, like
Yeah.
honestly, I'm gonna pray. First of all, let me tell you what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna pray and ask the Holy Spirit to reveal every hidden thing. Because I'm not gonna be no dummy. And I'm gonna say things like, I shall not be ignorant of the enemy's devices. No,
Amen.
sir. So what you don't tell me, I'm already gonna know.
Amen.
So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And
Yeah.
then you're gonna pray. Well, anyway, no, I'm not gonna go there. But I'm not gonna deal with you like that. I'm gonna focus on myself.
Right.
And I like
Right.
what you said, Tate, about how to make a decision now when the children are small, so that it doesn't affect them like super long term. It will affect them in some way, but they
Eventually, yeah, in some kind of way.
yeah, but it won't be like some normalcy because your parents is doing this.
Yeah.
um, I need to read a comment. This is so funny, y'all. Hey Mika. Mika says this is worse than sex. Number 2, all girls for the streets. Number 3, kissing is way too intimate. Number 4, an emotional tie is bigger than anything. Unfortunately, he still wants to be there, but a partner may be done. He's for the streets. For real,
Mhm.
though.
And you want to be for the streets, and you want to sleep with women who don't look at themselves as, higher than what your wife look at herself. It's like, okay, this is how you actually see yourself, because it's a reflection of you and your decisions,
Yeah.
you know?
And the Mika said it's not healthy. It's really not healthy. For me, I don't think this woman is done. She's not done.
No,
She's
not at
probably
all.
not. She's
Not
probably not.
not at all. And the painful part of this is, once again, she's far ahead of even where he is, because
Hmm.
he hasn't even accepted his role in this whole ordeal by
Right.
shutting down and not being. And look, I'm a man. I'm gonna tell y'all just like this. If a man tell you all we did was kiss and
Nah.
he don't really want to talk about nothing else, they
Hmm.
did more than kiss.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Also, there's more of a tie to the heart that man cares about, where he don't want to fracture what's going on over here by
Mhm.
revealing it to the person over here.
Right.
Right. That's so true.
Because at the end of the day, if it was just a man sleeping around and it was some random, who,
Mhm.
man don't care. He ain't vested over there. That was just some physical act. So he's gonna tell the person that he's vested emotionally, yo, okay, I'll go ahead and admit everything I did, because I want you to know, because I want to, somehow keep this thing together that we have.
Mhm.
And I promise that's the last time. Y'all heard that a lot. But anyway, this is the last this the last time this is gonna happen. You know, maybe for dudes who practice that, maybe. But I'm saying, for a dude that really loves over here his wife and his family, he's not going to conceal any information over here.
Man. Mhm. And when you said that, I'm just thinking about how she won't be able to heal because he won't tell the truth.
Right.
There's
Hmm.
nothing about truth that will set you free. Bible even talks about it, the truth will set you free. She can't
Hmm.
move because you lying, and she knows you lying because
Yes, you know. A
you know
woman's intuition,
And
yes.
she's going to always have that wonder. I
of course.
wonder really how far they went.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you're not giving her that peace of mind by not just going ahead and telling it, man. Just tell it.
No stability, no assurance, nothing. I mean, I don't think men realize, when you don't give that woman assurance and some kind of stability to stand on, to let her know, like, this is what happened. I can get, because one thing, I know for a woman, if something were to happen, the woman had to tell you everything. She would tell you everything to make you feel assured that, look, this is not going to happen anymore. This is a one-time thing, and I did it because of this. I wasn't feeling appreciated, so and so and so. But for a woman, they want to feel assured and led in the proper place. Not something. And a woman knows when something is being hit because it's already being revealed spiritually. Because we are in tune with that, more in tune than a man is sometimes. But we have that intuition knowing that something, how you're acting, this is not adding up. And I know you more than you think I know you. So I think men tend to underestimate a woman's intuition and how we tend to learn you over the years.
And I'm gonna say for anybody out there listening, Tweety said a woman. She ain't talking about them.
A woman who has God on her side.
Right. She talking about that. She ain't talking about can I say it?
Go ahead.
She ain't talking about these hoes. Cause these hoes don't care. They will lie to you and can steal all type of information. That's why Maury Povich is rich.
They will lie for them, okay?
Right.
That's the stupidest. That is the most stupidest thing that I have ever seen in my life. That just lets me know your mind frame and the value that you hold yourself to. That if you're going to allow a man to manipulate you, to lie for him, who do not even care about you, that shows how you think of yourself. And I'm not trying to speak down on any woman that's been in that position, because we have all in the past have played a fool before. But at this point in life, it's like, if he's lying to his wife, he's gonna be lying to you as well.
Right. He's gonna do the same thing to you. Why wouldn't he do the same? It's just like when you watch a man, how he handles other females. You don't think that he won't do that to you. Just because he says, well, I did this to Mary Jane, but I'll never do that to you, baby. Yeah. Bullshit.
Right.
I mean, because people, let me tell you, when you watch people, you watch what they don't say. And you learn a lot by the things that you don't hear. Because when I'm talking to someone and I'm listening to you, I'm listening to more than what your voice is saying.
Yeah.
Because, we have discernment. You feel with your gut, you're listening, you're tuning, especially if, like, I'm invested in you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really listening. I may not say everything that I picked up on, because sometimes you got to check yourself because your emotions are involved. Right? Is it me? Is this
Come on now, Rabia?
This anxiety? What is this? Because you don't make yourself look crazy.
Right.
Not allow anybody to be a fool. At some point, the real you must emerge. We can't pretend. The real you will emerge. And when it emerges, then you have a decision to make. You feel me? This needs to leave this ninja, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're not even telling the truth.
Yeah.
You don't have to help me to heal. You omit stuff. Omission is a freaking lie. Let's call it what it is.
Omission of the truth is betrayal.
And then I'm wondering too, because my mind always goes to this, protection. Are we using protection, sir? Because I know it protects.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait a minute. So Rabia, you're asking an irresponsible person if they're being responsible. Like, think about it. Think about it.
But listen, you can be a responsible hoe. Okay, let's be real.
No, it's no such thing.
Well, she has a point.
No, it's no such thing. How many side babies is out here?
Two, but I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's no such thing. You're being irresponsible by stepping out on your vows. So you think you actually think that person is being responsible in the sexual act? I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Shame. Got me there.
Yeah, I mean, I would think. Well, you're right, and you come from a middle.
We could do some lie detector tests, and I guarantee you, I will get an A+ on that paper. Meaning, I bet you any money, 98% of the dudes who test is gonna get caught lying. You are not protecting yourself out here.
And then you bring this disease back to your wife.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
That is not cool.
But you know what? Eventually, You know, if she does not leave, if she does stay, he's going to pay for that. You don't just get out free on that. Either it's going to come all the way, because wherever seed's sown, it has to sprout up. So I don't know if it's going to sprout up in a way so where she fall out of love and completely heal her way out of that relationship and want better for her and her kids, or she's going to become the person that does the cheating.
Right. And you know, with us women, we emotional, right? It's the
Right.
way you talk to us. Okay. You can pay bills all day long, but it's the way you talk to us, because it's the way you make me feel.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
feel a certain way, I can't detach myself from you.
Yeah.
Because
If I don't feel safe with you, if I don't feel protected with you, if I don't feel protected of looking like a fool to these outside women, that, I mean, not only protection is like protection from danger. I'm talking about protection from looking like a fool in these streets
Right.
with women who are, I hate to say like less than your wife, but they're just not, does not add up to her. Protect me in all ways, and then you'll get the best side.
exactly. And see, protection, like you're saying, doesn't come from physicalities only. It's
Mhm.
every, and
Everything.
it also depends on your love language as well, too, right? So depending on what love language you have, you can make me feel safe that way. Like my love language is words of affirmation, words. So if you talk to me a certain way,
Mhm.
baby, bye.
I know that's right.
I can't do it. Like where I come from in my culture, my mother taught us this. I don't know if you don't understand. I'll explain it to y'all. She said that if anybody makes you common, you basically cut their heads off.
Mm.
Making somebody common is treating you like you just anybody to them, or talking
Anybody.
to you a certain way, like you're not special to them. So you come
Mhm.
one day, you're just disrespectful, and you talk to a person a certain way. For me, that
Mhm.
will make me take several steps back and reevaluate whoever was I really to you, for you to talk to me the way you're talking to me.
So if I can add this, and I'm sorry, I'm not being rude. I got a few people asking what's the link to the show, so that's what I'm sharing.
Holla.
Yeah, I got you covered on that.
Okay.
However, I want to say this part for men, and I only speak about men. I don't speak about little boys who play games.
Period.
But when you marry someone, you become as one.
Yeah.
And if you will not abuse yourself, you should not abuse your wife, because once again, you are one. So therefore, anything that you out here thinking about doing, you really need to put the shoe on the other foot and say, would I be mad or heartbroken or whatever if she did it? And if you get pissed off, because you're going to get pissed off just thinking about it,
Thinking about.
then you need to hold your horses.
Mm.
And that is what true marriage, I mean, all this going together stuff, I don't know what's up with that, but that's what true marriage is about. That's your significant other. And like Tweety was saying, if you make her feel like a common person, then you're not doing your job.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yes. If you don't put any thought, see, my love language is, I like when I know that a man has been listening to me, because I like gifts, but it don't have to be expensive. It's just maybe something that's small that you actually thought of. I heard her saying this. Let
Right.
me get this. And I'm like, oh, okay. It was actually the thought that you were thinking of me in
Right.
that aspect. Like you was thinking of me throughout the day, and that was on your mind, and you did it. It could have been some flowers or something like that. You know, just to say that you have been thinking of me. That is what I love in regard to a man and not treating you as common. Now, if you just go and get something just to say, okay, she'd be satisfied with this. That's
No.
when you haven't really been thinking of me or even listening to anything that I'm saying or anything that I like. You don't even know me.
Whew, I hear you on that. Like, but for me, it's words. Words will get me, baby.
Yeah.
You make me feel some type of way. I can't even.
Yeah.
It'll take an active
Yeah.
word for me to change
Mhm.
my mindset, because words are very impactful. But words are impactful for everybody. If you think about it, God
Yeah.
created the world with words, so words are
Right.
important, right?
Ooh,
So I'm just saying, like, so when
yes.
people, when they talk, like you just talk like you have mouth diarrhea, like you just talking because
You
you
just
made,
say nothing.
like you just bye. Go have diarrhea with Sue over there. You're not gonna have diarrhea with me.
Yes.
Anyway,
But
guys.
can I
Yes.
say this? Can I
Yes.
say this? When you say words,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yes, true, words mean a lot. However, the power of words have been used to manipulate
Absolutely.
relationship after relationship.
Yes.
I say
Yeah.
it's the power of words and action all matching together.
And intention. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can sit there all day long and speak that good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no action behind it. And
Yeah.
remember, like, what they say, you can pray all day, but if you don't put no action behind your prayer,
Exactly.
it's meaningless.
But you know what? That's what discernment comes in at. When
Exactly.
you're actually speaking with someone and you can see that they're just slippery with their words, like, I believe that your word is everything. The words that you speak, everything, because life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Right.
So if you are not really careful with the words that you say, you just foolishly say them. I can't get jiggy with it.
Right.
Because I mean, you speak foolishly, and then when those things begin to manifest within your life, you know, that's going to affect me as well. So I will want someone
Absolutely.
that is wise within their speaking when they're around me. Because first of all, the Holy Spirit, if I say something foolishly, the Holy Spirit is going to be like,
Thank
you
you.
know, the Holy Spirit will correct you, not condemn you, but he will correct you. So if he's doing the correcting in me, I cannot have no one around me that's going to speak contrary to where I'm going or what I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's so
Right.
true. That's so true. Because when you're talking to somebody, and you're right, me that I'm a lover of words, that's the truth. But when my stomach, my gut feels a certain way, there's a question I ask myself, hold on, is that
Mhm.
you, Holy Spirit, or is that anxiety? Once I
Mhm.
determine what it is, because this is the thing, the reality is our emotions can take control, right? So we gotta
Yeah.
that. So once I identify what it is, baby, I'm not saying anything, but I'm very clued in. Like I'm
Mhm.
watching until I'm
Mhm.
released to speak or whatever. But
Mhm.
guys, I just want to ask you a question. Okay, I'm going to segue into this. What do you think, apart from this situation, ruins relationships? What are some of the red flags that you've experienced or you've seen other people experience in relationships? Like, for example, I would say, talk about discernment, not trusting your gut when things don't add up. As woman, you don't want to stir the pot because you haven't seen it with your physical eye, but your gut is really singing a song. But you're like,
Mm.
why? Like this, like his words and his actions are not matching. So what do?
Mm.
We don't ask the questions, right? And then when you
Mm.
do ask questions and the shit don't still add up, you're like, well, maybe it's me. I have been in a position where I didn't trust myself because I was working on myself, right? So I was like, you're just doing the same things you did before. And then
Yeah.
after that, like, then I realized, like, ooh, ooh, you knew. But God is so amazing because He's a rescuer. He will rescue us out of situations, and it will be like it never happened, right?
Right. Right.
That's my experience in the past of not trusting my gut when I should have trusted my gut. And I could think of not just relationships now. And let me make this clear. When I talk about relationships, I'm talking about platonic as well as romantic, right?
Facts.
So
Mm-hmm.
let me make that clear. I'm not just talking about that. Let me just read this one comment from Mika. Mika says, women feel it in their guts. Sometimes we just ignore and pretend it's not real. Absolutely.
That's true.
You don't want to like stir the pot and start something because as women, we basically just overanalyze stuff. It's going over in your head. And for me, like when I find myself in that space, I have to ask myself, okay, why is this taking over your thought process? Because it hinders everything else when my mind is like that.
Right. Well, I'm going to say this. It's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when you say trust in your gut,
Mm-hmm.
because you might be thinking, dang, am I overreacting based on what my past experiences are? Or is this really a red flag? And so it can be tough. It can be tough. However, I think that you get more signs to a red flag than just one.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and I think that's what's ignored. For example, when you say red flag, and I'm going to put this out there, how many ladies, when they're dating a man, see how he reacts to very high pressure situations.
Ooh, Tay, listen, I was writing something today. I was like, have you ever seen him angry? And that's a thing too. If you haven't never seen a man angry, you have to wait until you see him angry to know.
And
Or
you got to see how he handles it. Does he wild out like and throw tantrums like a kid?
Mhm.
Does he get angry, punch holes in the wall?
Right,
Does he get physical?
right.
Or is he calm and he handles the situation with calm?
Now, Tate, I have to say this though. I'm gonna throw this in here.
Go for it.
Is he pretending to be calm?
Mm.
Well, here's the thing. You got to see him in a high pressure situation that don't involve you.
Ah,
Because he can front for you. Oh, she's getting on my nerves right now, but okay, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna take this, but no. Look at how he deals with when a bill is overdue, or when his money is short, or if something happens out of the box that he's not expecting. How does he handle that?
Mm.
You get a flat tire. Does he get back there and start slamming everything and throwing the stuff all around in it? Or does he get out there patiently, change the damn tire and keep it going?
listen. Or if he can't change the tire, or if he does throwing the damn tire, I say throw the whole ninja away because I don't. Nah, throw the whole man away.
But you know what I'm saying, and I think that it's both ways, because you got to look at a lady, for the men that's out here dating. See how she reacts in high pressure situations, and don't put her in a high pressure situation, but just sit back and see how she deals with things.
Mm.
Mika says, "Got to see a man angry, confused, caught off guard, or broke will mess you up."
And that broke will send you over the edge.
I mean, but you know, another way you can see how a man is really is how he handles his exes.
Ooh.
I mean, not Tate.
No, because think about this. Think about this.
Okay, let me ask you this, Tate. How long have you been married, sir?
Ages, but that ain't what I'm talking about. Because I got homies. I got homies, and they, Lord knows, they give me all the damn dating experience I ever wanted. But here's the thing. That those two people just probably can't get along, or there has been damage done by the other party that you may not know about. You can't just say, oh damn, he treat his exes like nothing. Like if he on the phone and he get on the phone and say, hey, what you want? Hey, okay, do my child need anything? Okay, well, I'm about to go buy. Click. And you say, damn, why you handle her like that? That means he gonna handle me like that. No. Sometimes that person on the other line built up that frustration and that situation where they are deserving of little to no time or energy from that person.
Okay.
So I say with the exes, no.
Because I handle my ex very bad, actually.
But you a good person.
But okay. Let me just be transparent. When he texts me, I don't talk to him on the phone unless it's necessary. When he texts me, if he talks about the kids, I can respond. If he talks about anything else about the kids, baby, I'm not.
Yeah.
How I handle him.
So if he say, what are you doing? None of your damn business.
No. In my head, I say none of your damn business, but I'm not responding to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people, you got to put up these boundaries, because if you don't, then you think we're cool. We are
Yeah.
not, sir.
Right.
Divorce, because we know. I mean, some people after the divorce stay friends, and that's cool. But in my situation, maybe it's because it's only 3 years. Maybe we're not there yet. I don't know.
Right.
But no, I handle him. People say, well, I handle him bad. Well, you have kids with him. Yes, and I cannot forget that. Every day I got to deal with you.
I cannot forget that.
Like, so when I say handle your ex bad, and you're right though, it could be that she's a bugaboo or he's a bugaboo or whatever. Just frustration. And then for me, I had to come to the point where I'm like, I cannot let these texts or the way he talks to me or tries to talk to me affect me that way. That means I have you full freaking power over me. No. Take my control back over myself, not what he does. I control him.
Yeah.
So Robbie, it's almost like it's almost like with any situation where someone knows what buttons to push on you in
Yep.
order to get you react.
Yes,
What
Yep.
your responsibility is you have to change the programming on those buttons so that
Hmm.
when they push those same buttons, they don't get the same reaction. They don't get no reaction at all. Like, what are you like if you walk up to that microwave and you press the button for it to go come on and heat your food up and it's not working, you gonna stop pressing the damn button. You like,
you're right.
okay, I gotta get this fixed. But you're gonna stop pressing the button.
Mhm.
And many times we let, especially those that have been close or were close or is close to us, we let them know exactly what those buttons are that makes us react. And that's
Mhm.
even within your good relationship. If there's something that that person does that pushes a button and they know it pushes a button, you have the ability to change that.
You do. That's why I took control back by not responding to texts unless it,
Absolutely.
you know,
Mhm.
that's the way that I like today. We were texting because I'm going to go to South Africa next month, and so I need him to take care of my son. So we're talking about the kid, which is cool. And then you want to go down the path. I can't do that. I'm not going down a rabbit hole. I'm not going once
You're
I'm
not gonna give them. You're not gonna give them one. I remember when we.
never. No. That's the thing. When a woman leaves a man or divorces a man or whatever, you know this thing started years before the actual.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
So it's not like you.
Just all
Anyway,
of a sudden.
I decided I was gonna be really transparent moving. But anyway, but that's enough. But my point is, this is no, we're not talking about anything but
Uh,
the children, basically. Let me read one more comments here. Oh, you want to say something, sweetie?
Oh no, I know my phone had overheated from my lighting.
It's okay.
That's why I went off and I had to put it in the refrigerator.
You stop.
Oh
And
God.
I was like, oh shoot. But I know I missed out on the red flag conversation.
Well,
Um,
this is like the red flag we're talking about, not trusting your gut.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
trusting. And I was saying when I talk about relationships, it's not just romantic. This is even friendships because I've been in friendships as well, and where people have talked to me a certain way or mistreated me or made me feel a certain way.
Mhm,
And it's
mhm.
like I can't do it, dude.
No more.
Nah.
And you get to a point to where your peace is priority over the history. I don't care about the history that we had, and if I feel as if the love that I'm showing you is not being reciprocated, and I feel like I'm being used, and when I leave you, I'm depleted. No, ma'am. As in friendships, and that's in well, I'm married, so and in friendships, that is cut out. I don't care about the history part of it. If I know that you cannot be trusted, or I have to say certain things and hold myself from being myself around you because it may be misconstrued with
Right.
you. I cannot do it anymore. It's too much energy.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes in friendship too, some friends want to keep you exactly where they want to keep you.
Hmm.
And the very second that you grow outside of the box that they want to keep you in, they don't like it. And the friendship changes, and you can
Yeah.
feel when the friendship change.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's when they come in with the whole people are there for a reason or a season.
Season. Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
wait. What about the subliminal messages on Facebook?
Yeah. I don't
You
have
know
time for
what?
that either.
So that I don't run into that, when I see
It's a man.
people with the messages like that on Facebook, I just unfollow them, man, so that I won't
Yeah.
even read into it. You
Yep.
know, to each his own.
No,
And you,
that's right about that. Because sometimes I think, well, yeah, to each his own. You're right.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
you know what? When you get to the point to where like you're always questioning yourself, like, is it me? Wait, am
Oh,
I tripping?
God,
Am I sensitive? I don't like that kind of confusion. Don't mind screw me. Don't try to mind screw me, and then act as if like I'm just seeing this totally in a different way, and you're not that type of person. When my intuition is showing me and telling me that you are, and then you say certain things, and I'm like, I'm supposed to just like, and I think some friends, like, because of your faith and because you're a Christian, oh, you're supposed to be loving and forgiving and all this here, but I know I'm not supposed to be a fool and allow you to walk over me and use me.
Thank
So
you.
Right.
now I want my peace, and I don't want to have to question myself every time I leave about your presence. Sometimes you're okay, and sometimes I have to say, I'm not sure. I don't have time for that anymore. I'm not questioning myself when I know my intuition is telling me what the Holy Spirit is trying to reveal to me about that person, that they're not for you.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And it's okay if you're not for me. It's
It's okay.
because I'm still gonna breathe, move, and live, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna pray
And,
for you too.
and sometimes don't forget about this. We all grow, right?
Yeah.
We all grow at a different speed,
That's
different
true.
Hmm.
levels, and things like that. And that
Hmm.
same friend, because it happened to me, that same
Hmm.
friend will sometimes meet you at that level
Yes, at
down
a
the
different point
road,
in time.
down
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
And it's not saying that, okay, because me and this friend ain't seeing eye to eye right now,
Right.
that's it. We ain't
Hmm.
friends no more. No,
Hmm.
sometimes you got to step aside, step
Yeah.
out the way, let that person grow so
Hmm.
that they can understand your growth.
Exactly. It don't have to be beef. It don't have to, and that's the only thing. I be praying that I hope they don't see it as me just stay into my, I mean, I'm not saying to cut them off, but see them every in different occasions, not,
Right.
and they don't have to necessarily have to always be beef.
Right.
Maybe we're just growing at two different rates, and you at one stage in your life, but I am in one stage in my life. And when we meet back up again, when it's we're supposed to, then we can, have a conversation and discuss
Right.
our growth and how we appreciate being able to have this conversation now, because I've done that in some relationships before. You
Right.
know.
Let me read one more comment because let me tell you, I'm gonna expand on what you said, and you're right though, because growth
Hmm.
and healing will make you look
Hmm.
at people so differently because you can see
Yeah.
where they act and then where you act. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
So Ivan says also, just because a man treats his exes well isn't an indicator of anything. What if he was an asshole? So as a result, he treats them well now because he feels bad. No, he never.
Mm.
Okay, just like you were saying,
Absolutely.
you said kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think about it like that because I will watch
Hmm.
and I was really not coming from like a positive end. I was talking about, of course, the negative side of that, right? Like if
Yeah.
how he treats her, if he cusses her out, calls her out her name, that kind of stuff, then
Hmm.
like, oh, he can call me out my name too at some point,
Hmm.
you know.
Yep.
Because what we fail to realize is some people really do deserve the word.
Dude. Dude.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's rude. It's
Yeah.
rude, and you should not do it because you don't want nobody calling your mama one.
Right.
But that word exists for a reason.
Listen to
It's some
that.
things describe that word to a T.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
don't try to act like everybody don't deserve to be called one when people act like that.
You know what? I respect when a man does this. He withholds a story of his ex that would tarnish her reputation, but lets you find out on your own.
Yes.
So
Right.
where, okay, I don't have to tell you this in order to make me look good. That's one of the red flags that I know, that I would notice about a man or a woman if they come to you with the story of how their exes did them wrong and what kind of person their exes is. Rather than, either way, you're gonna find out what happened regardless. But
Right.
I won't require you to tarnish your name to make yourself look like a good mate.
But sometimes how you got to go and you really you got so much energy built up that you just got to scream and then you feel better.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That
Okay.
that's
no.
pretty much what that is.
What's the point? Oh, okay.
If he snap, if he snap
Okay.
real quick, it's just him screaming and then he back. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, but
Now
wait.
that indicates, you know what? Let me tell you something. If a man only have bad exes, that means your choosing partner,
It's
Thank
you don't have
horrible.
a red flag indicator at all.
It's
And
horrible.
there's some areas, sir.
Okay, but okay, so a man that keeps talking about, okay, I run into this a lot, right?
Hmm.
So they'll talk about their ex, about why they're not together, but they never say what they did. To me, that's a red flag. What did you do, sir? How
Come
did you
on now.
demise? Because I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk about my ex. I
Yeah.
contributed too. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
it. I may not have done the things that he did, but at some point, I contributed. And you know what I contributed with this mouth? Because girl, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Good. And the last thing a man wants to do is be disrespected. Like that's like the
Oh
sixth
man.
respect, right? So
Yeah.
me, when I was angry and he would come at me a certain way, I could hurt him with my words, and I used my words.
Yeah.
I wasn't quiet, even though I was out here preaching, and I was in a place where I was angry. I didn't feel safe, right? So I felt like I was in this defensive mode
Yes.
all the time. So I felt like I had to protect myself. And when I get into that mode, I'm in self-preservation mode. Mouth is fire.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
no, it's not right. But I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
I mean, because think about it. A woman, for the most part, cannot physically beat a man up.
right.
So
But with her mouth, she
the
could tear him
tongue,
down.
power of the tongue.
And we know that.
Yeah.
And when you're hurt, and she made a vital point there. When you don't feel protected, and especially when a woman does not feel protected, she's constantly living in a defensive mode.
Yes.
You know, like you, a woman living in that kind of mode constantly is not good. First of all, she's out of her environment, because a woman is created to be a nourisher. And when a nourisher is supposed to be protected and within the right environment of peace. And when a woman does not feel protected and she has to be on a defense mode, and you require her to be soft as well, you won't get that at all. And it's like a woman needs rest from being on a defense mode. Like you say, I know for me, and it comes to me as for women who has not had a childhood to where they felt protected. And coming up and being in those relationships, she's going to want to fight. She's going to want to curse you out all the time, because that's a defense mechanism for her to protect herself. So that's why some women can cut really deep with their words.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean,
can I say this really quick though?
Sir.
It really depends on what you identify a relationship to be. Because some women have been raised in households where they've always seen their mom dominate. And so therefore they grew up thinking that's what they're supposed to do. So in all cases, it's not the man being abusive, because there's some real docile men out here that some strong-willed women get with, and they dominating throughout the house. All you hear is the woman's mouth, and then she'll use him as some attack dog. And you better not say nothing to me, or I'll sick Greg on you. Like, wait a minute. So honestly, when you say red flags, there's so many ways to pick up on red flags. You need to, first of all, look at their family and what influenced them and what they identify a relationship to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And like for me, for example, I didn't grow up in a household where my mother was talking crazy to my dad. It wasn't that. I grew up in a traditional household, right? Mother and father, no divorce, none of that. She was very, submissive, domicile, but she has a very strong personality, right? So that was an example I saw of fighting and stuff like that. I didn't. Like, truthfully, did not see that. But I had to be an aggressor in my relationship because I was protected, right? And I'm not proud of it. And that's why I'm very careful now, because I don't want to ever be in an environment where I don't have peace. Like, peace is a priority. I don't be that person I used to be. Like, I can't do that. Like, in this part of my life, I'm not compromising, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a certain way. And I know, like, okay, it's going to make me react. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like I live most of my adult life in constant turmoil because of that. And you're right, though. Your childhood does play a huge part. But let me say this, guys. Everybody has had something in their childhood, whatever it is, different degrees, but we've all had some type of trauma, okay? Continues to say, okay, because my parents did this and this. You are now the adult.
Yeah.
Go get help. There's therapists. You can absolutely change everything that you've ever known as a kid. And I'm a living testament to that. You can completely change. What does the word of God say? Renew your mind daily, right?
Right. Right.
But it comes to this. Sometimes people don't know what to do to change. They don't know where to start. They don't
Yeah.
know how to ask for help, because part of the results of trauma is you don't want to ask for help because
Yeah.
you're weak. I mean, all these things.
And some people don't even realize that they're doing it.
That's
They don't
Mhm.
even realize, like, it's some people that don't like their parents' situation so much,
Mhm.
but don't understand that they're doing the
The
same
same
thing.
thing, but in
Now,
different ways.
I'm gonna say this because Tweety done put out there that I've been married forever.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. I had parents, they still together, whatever, but they fought, you
Mhm.
know. And as a kid, I used to hate when I hear arguing because I knew it was gonna lead to a fight.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so as an adult, which is what Grace said, as an adult, I made it my business to let every potential spouse know I don't argue, fuss, or fight. If that's what you do, I'm not your guy.
Mhm.
And I kid you not, my wife and I have been married 21 years, 24 together, not one argument, because we chose at the very beginning to handle our situations like adults
Right.
and not scream at each other.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's so good.
That's a blessing.
I need to
Yes,
read
it is.
some comments, guys. Hi, Natasha. She says,
Hey,
yeah,
Natasha.
back the power, learn to forgive, to let go. Might take a while, but when it happens, girl, I know.
Yeah.
Yes. She
The
also
fruit
says,
of forgiveness.
yes, be so unbothered where you start glowing. Okay,
Mm.
yes. She says, agree. And then Rashida Williams said, good evening, everyone. Hi, Rashida.
What's up, Sheeta?
Um,
What's up, Natasha?
and I spoke to Natasha today. She's so freaking sweet. Good people, though. You have some really
Yeah,
good people. So,
Thank
that's
you.
all it's about. But I guess for me, coming up within a household, it wasn't a traditional household, and seeing my mother and her boyfriend fight, that was the norm, you know. And when once I got into a relationship, it was an abusive relationship. That
mm,
was before I got married. I was thinking, okay, this is normal. He loved me, you know, because you've seen this coming up. But I remember praying, you know, Father, I know I don't deserve this. And one day waking up, just everything, every feeling, every emotion gone. And it was like, get up out of there, go, and
right,
left. And then after that, that's when my husband and I got married. But when my husband and I got married, I was trying to bring that behavior within my marriage when he is not even that type of man.
wow,
So I know it has to be nobody but God, and I know and a lot of things dealing with anger as well as a defense mechanism of wanting to fight, you know, thinking that you're in danger, and when you're really not, but it's just what you've been through in the past. That it was nothing but the Holy Spirit that done some work on the inside of me to know it's like, dang, that was actually messed up. You know, why would you even want to do some things like that? That's not normal. That is not how a household is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a piece of love and of joy. You know, but of course, when things happen, you know, within your marriage, that's when the old you try to pop up and you try to, you know, fight these old devils that's trying to bring itself back that you thought you were healed from, you know, within a relationship. But I just think it's just in that regard, it's the constant dying to self that you're having to do within a marriage from the things that you experienced in your
right,
past.
right.
So
Um,
your husband had to tell you, look, turn off the grits.
Like, look, I don't even do that. Like, I mean, I ain't, you know,
Natasha says some walls will keep both the bad and the good out. Mm,
That's
right.
that's
true.
true.
Rashida says lack of communication will destroy any relationship. That is
Yep.
so true. Like, I don't care how bad it is, because
Mhm.
when it comes to truth, right? I'm big about truth. I don't care
Mhm.
how freaking awful it is. Tell me.
Mhm.
Give me
Yeah.
an opportunity to either work with you or walk away from you. But give me
Mhm. Give me that choice.
Give me that. Because,
Yeah.
and even my kids know this. If you tell me you've done something and you tell me the freaking truth, your punishment
Mm-hmm.
will probably be lesser because you were
Yeah.
honest. You had the
Yeah.
to tell me
Yeah.
what I would do. So what am I going to do is show you more grace
Yeah.
versus they cut your head off.
You're right.
So you're saying, because this is what I did for my children as well. You go ahead and tell me the truth, you get a controlled spanking.
Okay.
You don't tell me the truth, so that means you lied on top of that. You get a ass whooping.
Yeah, see,
It's a difference.
Yeah.
there's a huge difference. You're right.
Right.
Let me tell you what, though. I have absolutely enjoyed both of you. I
Thank
have.
Same
you.
here. Same
This
here.
is beautiful. This is beautiful.
This
Beautiful
has been a
platform.
pleasure.
Beautiful
Yeah.
show.
I absolutely enjoyed having you guys. And we have 5 more minutes, but I want to ask you guys because both of you are married.
Mm-hmm.
And Tate, you've been in a long,
Y'all gonna cut that out. It ain't been that long.
Honey, it's been long, sir. It's, I mean,
A spanking.
she was great, Charlotte. Thank you, Natasha. What advice would you give to people that want to get married or are already married? How do you maintain your relationship? Because I know your wife and you're both are such like when you see you together, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice will you give?
I'm gonna say you gotta be 100% factual, truthful, or anything, however you want to put it. But I'm gonna say be 100 from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Let your expectations be known from the very beginning. Now, things are going to change because life alters and you're not going to be the same person, and that's fine.
Right.
However, your foundation must stay solid, and you gotta definitely put it on the table. Let your expectations be known. And then that way, if that person is not living up to those expectations, it's not like they don't know. Like, hey, we put everything on the table. You knew what I was expecting. So in order to get to the happiness part, you gotta step your game up. It's just
Right.
all about being truthful and being 100.
Yeah.
What about you, Tweety? What advice would you give?
Child, I would say, don't rush to get married. Be patient with who God has for you because you don't want to be unequally yoked because you may be someone that has a love for God and you want the same.
Right.
You want that same within your spouse, as well as get to know them and, you know, pay attention to the red flags before you get married and want to spend the rest of your life, but because then you'll be trying to heal through some things that it wasn't called to do. But also, like, you know, when you do get married, you just have to realize that, you know, you have to keep dating, keep I mean, transparency is key. Not only communication, because you can communicate all day, but transparency of
Right.
understanding how that person feel and you know how you may have made them feel, and just can always come to a resolution when having those conversations. Don't leave no open door for your wife or your husband to feel disrespected by any outsider. You
Absolutely.
know, also as well as you know a person within a marriage you change every 7 years, so you have to constantly want to get to know your spouse and go out on those dates and have those talks and see where their mind is at, and vice versa, you know, so that you won't be finding yourself out in the house with a foreign person that you haven't made an effort to get to know within those all those years. But I just say always keep God in right there in the back middle and pray about everything within your marriage, sex as well, because sex is a gift to marriage, and always keep it spicy.
Yes. Well, I'm not a married woman, but I would give people this advice about relationships and friendships or whatever. People don't break your heart, they break your expectations, which gets you closer to your heart. And in order to find the right person, you have to become the right person. So for me, in your singleness, you should work on yourself. Really. And when I say pick yourself apart, I'm not talking about a negative way. Just find you, learn your triggers, learn everything about you. That's what I feel. You know, yeah, that's a space I'm in my life right now. Just really getting to really be honest with myself and just heal. And I think people should do that. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I am not a good person. Or, you know what, I need to change this. And just have those honest conversations, because you don't have anybody. So you can have those conversations with yourself. Because when you are in a relationship, you know, all those things that you have to work on, they now become illuminated, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Really leave a couple more comments. Oh, Dorian says, sorry, agreed. Rashida says, good information. Natasha says, love it, keep it spicy. And then she says, here, they don't break your heart, they break your expectations. That is so true. People don't break your heart. They really, you had this thought about them that this is what they are, and they disappoint you. And when people disappoint you, you have a decision to make, baby. Either you're going to move forward with them, or you're going to take a step back. And that you have to make for yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
Right.
them. It just means that, yeah, I can't vibe with that, or whatever that is to you. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed actually doing this podcast today, and
This was cool.
It was.
So to my audience, I will see you next week. And remember, guys, life is not about perfection. It's about progression, because after all, life does happen, right? So I'll see you guys next week. Have an amazing week. And you know what? Oh, no, I'll tell you about that next week. See you later. Bye.